Hi, and welcome to a Life Soul podcast, where we explore personal growth, high performance, and intentional living. I am Wasim Balani, and I believe life isn't just about getting through the day, it's about becoming fully alive in everything we do. Through my journey, whether in medicine as a heart rhythm cardiologist, cycling and running, or personal development, I have learned that success isn't just about reaching goals, but about who we become along the way. This podcast is here to inspire and challenge you to push your limits, cultivate discipline, and live with purpose. Join me each week as we dive into ideas, reflections, and practical strategies to help you grow into your best self. So let's get started. Hey guys, welcome back to a Life Soul podcast. Today I want to talk about something that might sound small and simple at first, but I actually think it's deep and powerful. It's about the impact of small, sincere actions. See, we often aim for big things, big actions, big projects, the breakthroughs, the game changer. And there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes the actions that truly matters are not the big ones. They are sometimes the small ones, especially when they're done sincerely. And nowadays, in the era of social media, it's easy to get attached to the numbers, the views, the likes, the engagement. We start chasing the viral moment, the big reaction, the visible win. And without realizing it, we begin to measure our impact by how much attention we get. But let me ask you something. What if only one person listens? What if only one person watches and feel inspired? Does that make the message any less meaningful? That question became very real for me recently. See, I've been sharing this podcast consistently, week after week, with the intention of putting something positive into this world, to inspire others to do great things in their lives. Something that might help someone think differently, more positively, and improve their life. And I usually can see the numbers of views, but I couldn't always see the impact. Until recently, when a friend reached out and told me that this podcast was actually making a difference for him and his family. And hearing that brought so much joy to my heart, and it clarified something important to me. And that is, if even one person is impacted by what I'm sharing, then to me, it's enough, and it's worth the effort. And that realization made me think more deeply about how we define the impact. See, we live in this world that constantly trains us to think bigger, bigger reach, bigger audience, bigger results. But real impact doesn't always scale the way numbers do. In fact, most meaningful impacts is quiet and many times small. Think about your own life for a moment. Most of the moments that shaped you were not dramatic or public. They weren't announced or celebrated. They were small. For example, a kind word said at the right time, an encouragement when you were unsure, someone choosing patience instead of frustration, someone believing in you before you fully believed in yourself. Those moments don't show up on charts, but they stay with people. And that brings me to a saying from the Prophet Muhammad that captures this idea beautifully. He said, "Do not underestimate any good action, even meeting someone with a cheerful face or a smile." And I've always loved this saying because of how simple it is. Just a smile, something easy to overlook, something we rarely think twice about. And yet, how often has something that small changed the tone of a conversation, softened a difficult moment, or made someone feel seen? That teaching removes one of our most common excuses, which is the idea that good only counts when it's big. Think about how small actions can leave a huge impact at home and with your family. Maybe it's one small text to your spouse, just to say how much you'd love them and appreciate them. No occasions, no big reasons, just because. Or maybe it's a small random act of kindness, like bringing home a simple flower arrangement, leaving an appreciation or love note, or doing something thoughtful without being asked. It doesn't have to be a big gift. Those small gestures often mean more than we realize. Think about this also at work. Taking 10 seconds to thank someone, acknowledging the effort, saying, I see what you're doing, and appreciate it. That one sentence can change how someone shows up, how they can carry themselves for the rest of the day. Also, think about that in anything you're trying to build. One workout that you don't feel like it, one page of a book written, one honest conversation started. Because small, sincere actions done consistently are what actually move things forward. Now, the sad realization is that we often hold back because we think what I'm doing is not enough. So we wait, we delay, we stay quiet. But what if the good you're meant to do doesn't need to be bigger? What if it just needs to be done? What if there's someone that needs to hear that right now? Not tomorrow, not later. What if the real question is not, is this enough? But, will I show up today, regardless of how small the action might sound? When we step back and really think about it, this whole conversation points to something simple: that we don't need to do more to matter, to make an impact. But we need to recognize the value of what we're already doing when it's done sincerely, even if it's small. Because most real impact doesn't happen on a stage, it happens quietly, in the ordinary moments, in interaction no one else notices. And here's the part that takes maturity to accept. You may never see the full effect of your actions. You may never know how long an encouraging word stayed with someone, or how one small decision influenced the family, a relationship, or a future choice. But lack of visibility doesn't mean lack of impact. So before you move with your day, sit with this one idea. Do not underestimate one small good action, because one person matters, one family matters, and one sincere action done quietly is never wasted. And if what you're doing helps even one person move forward, that's not small, that's huge, and it was worth doing. And remember that every habit you build, every effort you make, no matter how small, it all adds up. So keep showing up, because the small steps you take today are shaping the person you become tomorrow. And that's it for this episode, my friends. And if you like it, please share it with people around you, because we all grow better when we do it together.